Morning, Coach. We'll get started.
Good morning.
With Tom McMullen and then Dave.
Hey, Coach.
Morning.
Wanted to start you out with the Cardinals question. At least from the outside looking in, they do some kind of unique stuff on the defensive side of the football. They have that jet pass rushing package where it's all basically linebackers on the field. How much of an issue is that with a young quarterback in his second start? And how much do you have to rely on Jason Kelsey in that instance?
Well, first off, let me just say I'm impressed that you are watching our opponent and actually asking me an opponent question. It's kind of refreshing this morning. It is a challenge. It's a unique defensive call by them. They put all linebackers on the field with their defensive back guys, and it's all speed rush, and they don't bring them all every time. They drop guys out, and they present eight-man pressure looks, seven-man pressure looks, and six-man pressure looks. So it can be a little bit, challenging, and it is challenging to try to, decipher the code. But we do the best we can. We go in with the protection plan that we have and execute and try to eliminate as much confusion as possible. But yeah, Kelsey becomes a big part of, trying to decipher that code for us.
Go ahead, Dave, and then Jamie.
Hey, Doug. Good morning. Zach Ertz has been back now a couple weeks, and it seems like you guys are kind of ramping him up. But even before the injury, he wasn't really playing at his customary level. Do you think he can still get back to that with 3 games left in this year?
Most certainly. I think the biggest thing right now with Zach is he is feeling better. He's practicing a lot faster and feeling better. And that goes a long way from the mental side of it with players, just being able to get through the week and to be able to practice. And so for us, him and Dallas and Rich Rod having a combination of 2 or all 3, we feel has been beneficial for us as an offense. And so we continue to game plan with him, for Dallas and Rich Rod as well. And, Zach's feeling better, and we keep him coming.
Jamie, and then Ruben.
Doug, a lot of the guys this week were talking about Jalen's poise and for a rookie and how and his leadership quality and just how comfortable he was out there. What was he like this week in his second week after having a start under his belt, knowing he's going to get another one? Like, did you see any difference in him, and what was his week like?
Jalen, he doesn't get real high and he doesn't get real low. He just kind of flatlines just a little bit, and so that's good. That's a good thing, right? His blood pressure stays pretty low for the most part, but you can definitely see a level of comfort, I think, from just being in that position last week. Obviously taking the lead as a starter again this week, getting all the reps in practice, and working with the players and it's always a new set of circumstances, but because of the opponent that you're playing. But he's done a great job with that in the game plan, and you just see him a little bit more communicating with his guys on the field, and having a little more of a rapport, I guess, with them, and a comfort level with them, especially the offensive line guys. But he's had a good week.
Ruben, and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Doug. Good morning. I'm curious how Carson has been running scout team. It's something he's never done before. How has he kind of embraced that, and how has he done with that?
He's done really well. It's exciting actually to watch him, because you see him doing the things that when it's 7-on-7 or team drills or whatever it might be, just how he's out there just kind of running and I want to say a little carefree when you're on the service team or the scout team, but he's been doing a real good job. He's really taking that and really working with some of the younger guys. We obviously present the picture to the defense, and he's able to coach up even the younger guys based on what they're seeing on the card from a route standpoint or a protection standpoint or whatever it might be. But he's done a really nice job there.
Jeff, and then Les.
Hey, Doug. Sorry about that. was going to follow up on Ertz a little bit. You mentioned the injury, but even before the injury, he wasn't getting involved very much. And if he was, the yards per catch were really low. And I know some of that had to do with the struggles of the offense and obviously of the quarterback. But did you guys see more into that? There was a reason why you weren't throwing to, why the passes weren't going more downfield to the tight end?
Well, I think the ball was kind of being spread out just a little bit more. We had opportunities. We missed. The connection between Carson and Zach just wasn't there early in the season, and and then the ball was going. Other places. So, it's nothing. Has nothing to do with Zach or anything like that. It's just a matter of sometimes the game plan, the call, the play design, where the ball is going to go, and you don't necessarily can control. Now there were times when we dialed his number up and we just didn't execute the play, and those are things that as we study our film, we get better at and learn and try to improve there.
Les and then Zach.
Hello, Doug. Yesterday, I saw Darius Slay was a limited practice participant. Do you anticipate him being totally cleared by the independent expert, I guess, and everything by game time?
Well, he's still in the protocol right now, and he practiced yesterday, and that's part of the protocol. And I can't really comment too much further on these types of injuries, but he's still in the protocol. He'll have another day today and tomorrow before we get on the plane and make the determination on game day.
Okay.
Go ahead, Zach, and then Rob Motti.
Hey, Doug, I know you study different offenses. The air raid offense that, Cliff Kingsbury he's from that tree. Is that one you've studied before, and have you used any of those elements in your offense in the past?
I've looked at some of it in the past. It's a little different than what, say the West Coast or whatever you might consider the West Coast, which we really are more East Coast, I guess, in our offensive philosophy. Now everything has changed, but there's still some principles and concepts that they use, whether it be in the RPO game, the designed, RPOs, or even some of the QB movement stuff in that system have been pretty effective that we can apply or use and study, and it's always good, especially in the off season to have certain projects and look at offenses that have success and to see exactly what makes them successful, it can be an exciting offense because the ball gets spread around to a lot of different guys, and the quarterback it's quarterback driven and it's quarterback friendly. So, but there are some concepts that we have used in the past and will continue to study.
Rob and then Jimmy.
Hey, Doug, you guys are in a position now, third year in a row, where if you win out, there's a really good chance you can win the division. It's a third different quarterback trying to do this, different players, a lot of different personnel. How much can you draw on the success of the past 2 years, and how much are you sensing the guys understand the urgency of the situation?
Well, it's important that we understand where we are and what's in front of us. I think it's part of my job to make sure the guys understand that, we still control our own destiny, and we need a little help obviously the next couple of weeks, but we just got to take care of our business and see what happens here at the end of the year. But being able to go back and lean on, some previous experiences obviously help us kind of get through times like this, right? And we've always talked about the next man up, and we're definitely doing that again this season. And it's something that we've got to we just can't put ourselves in this position. Now, obviously we can't control injury, and that's a big part of this game. But we got to have success throughout the entire season, and like we did in 17 and parts of 18, and you just never want to come down to you want to be playing your best ball. I understand that, in the last month of the season and giving yourself an opportunity. But you also have to look back and say, hey, there were some games this year that maybe, we let our opponents take a game from us, and we'll learn from those too. But yeah, these past experiences have been really good for the guys to lean on, here in the last and will be in the last month of the year.
Jimmy and then Bo.
Hey, Doug, a bit obscure here, but Prince Teguanogo was protected earlier in the week. He's been sort of a forgotten guy this year. Will he be up on Sunday? And where is he health-wise with his knee issues coming out of college? And then what has he shown throughout the season in practice?
Yeah, Prince has been doing really well in practice. And one of the things that we have to do each week is we get to protect, 4 of our practice squad players. Just obviously we're down, offensive bodies, offensive line bodies, and we just want to protect him this week so no one can take him from us, and in case we needed him. So we haven't made that determination yet if he's going to be active on game day, but he's done a nice job this year. He's gotten better. He's improved. He's understanding, everything that we're doing. He's healthy. He feels good. So just excited for him moving forward and obviously in the future.
Bo and then Ed.
Hey, Doug, what are the specific challenges that this Cardinals defense presents?
Well, we talked a little bit earlier. This is a multiple front. They disguise coverage. I think they got 2 really good corners. We know, Patrick Pederson is a really good corner. Jordan Hicks is a smart, active, aggressive linebacker who kind of knows us a little bit and can maybe sniff some things out. And listen, they play extremely fast, and these last couple of weeks they've been able to get after the passer and get some sacks, and especially on third down where they bring in a lot of these linebackers as rushers, and so it takes. That's what presents the biggest challenge, and just because of their their multiple on defense, and so we got to try to keep it as simple as we can, and just trust our rules and trust our guys as we move into this game.
Take a few more, so we'll wrap it up with Ed, John, and then Martin.
Hi, Doug. You were just talking about Jalen's leadership abilities. For a rookie quarterback to do this, and you saw Carson do it as a rookie, and as a player you saw Donovan McNabb here, how impressive is that to step in and have that respect as someone who could lead really a lot of times a bunch of veterans as well?
It's very important, and you just look at the history of Jalen and the big games and the teams that he's been on in college and how he's been in that leadership role, and I think that was kind of instilled in him as an early age, with his family and his father, and just having that work ethic and nothing really bothers him, nothing really shakes him up, and he just steps in and commands the huddle. And it's things that we talk about, things that I talk to the quarterbacks about all the time, and especially young quarterbacks, is, hey, all eyes on me type mentality, right? You're the one speaking and giving the direction in the huddle, and so you command that huddle. But that just kind of comes natural to him, I think, because of his history and the teams that he's been upon.
Go ahead, John.
Morning, Doug. Jalen Reagor yesterday was talking about the amount of time he's been able to spend after practice with Jalen Hurts and the other young receivers. Do you see them growing some chemistry with the extra work they're getting? And how much more is there in the passing game with Jalen and these young receivers?
Yeah, this is exactly what it takes, for teams to be successful, is when players take it upon themselves, to spend time after practice, working on their craft, or in the classroom watching extra tape when they're not around the coaches, right? And this is what you see from the majority of our football team is guys spending, I break the team down at the end of practice and allow them to get off the field, but they want to stay on the field and get more reps. And I think it's so important that they do that. And I do think that the chemistry is beginning to build with them. It's something it's exciting to see them, kind of get on the same page, kind of just dialogue through route combinations and things that Jalen is seeing or Jalen Reagor is seeing, and really working on their craft. I think it's so important that they do that, because that just carries them the good ones, right? You think about, the Jerry Rices of the world and those top receivers and quarterbacks. This is what they've done early in their career, and really as their careers progress, they spend that extra time, and it's so important that everybody continues to do that, just so it helps the entire team.
Go ahead, Martin.
Hey, Doug. Obviously, you guys have used a lot of guys who weren't on the roster, particularly in the secondary this season, especially the last few weeks. Have any of those guys stood out to you, maybe surprised you what they've been able to do? I mean, guys like Kevon Seymour and you know Michael Jaquette and Graylin Arnold. Any of those guys kind of help make a name for themselves?
Well, I do think that, you know, the more they play, the more opportunities they get, the more chances for us as coaches to really evaluate their performance. And, Michael Jaquette's probably been the one that's played the most for us, in the secondary. And he's done a really, really nice job, as a young player. And it'll be good to see where he's at, obviously physically and bouncing back this week. And, you mentioned Graylin Arnold, another young player that can when he's up, he's played more special teams, but he flashes and does some good things. And Key, last week just got put out there, last week and really did some good things. I mean, and then they're all learning experiences and of course just understanding the defense. But all of those guys, plus there's many more. You think about Kayvon Wallace and some of the young DBs that we have, being able to bring a guy like Elijah Riley in, and it's just they're young and yet they're eager to learn. They want to learn. And they really want to perform well. So that's what's exciting about watching, all of these guys play.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.